r/Askreddit. What actually 100% lived up to the hype? Neighbors chili. Moved in and everybody wouldn't shut up about this guy's chili. To the point it was annoying to hear about. The first cold day that fall I had it. Holy shit, now I won't shut up about it. Dungeons and Dragons. I lived with a friend at university who, back in the days of 3.5e, would suggest every weekend that we played a game. I had no interest in spending my Saturday afternoons pretending to be an elf or whatever the fuck you were supposed to do when you played. No. Thank you. Then I actually tried it a year or two ago. And it's dope. Sit around with friends. Talk some shit. Eat some cheese. Drink some beers. Kill some imaginary goblins. With 3 months I was deeming. And now I have more dice than I know what to do with and a folder on my desktop devoted to all the games I know I'm never going to get around to playing. All because adult scheduling is the true BBEG. Being healthy. It feels so good to feel good. I thought I would hate cutting out soda and junk food because they taste so good and made me happy. But I was so heavy. Knee pain. Couldn't sleep. Miserable most of the time. Now it's normal to just feel good. It's actually crazy to think I lived like that for so long. It's worth it to put the effort into your health. Who cares if it takes a long time? You'll thank yourself. Visiting Japan. Used to be kind of a weeb when I was a teen, but that phase died out when I grew into my 20s. My so and I planned a trip to see my brother and his Japanese GF just to stay in touch, even though I would have rather loved to see Florence or Marrakesh instead, but boy oh boy was I wrong. Japan really brought the kid inside me out again. Edit. Even though I couldn't care less about anime. Weighted blanket. I've never slept so well. It adds enough weight to be comforting. But it vents heat well so you don't overheat. Edit 4. As you mentally psycho pointed out, if you have sleep apnea, weighted blankets may make it harder for you to breathe. Will. Edit 3. Here is one of my favorite comics about weighted blankets. By you shitty watercolor. Edit 2. I am not an expert. I'm not a salesman. I cannot match you or your loved one to your perfect model. I can only recommend checking out Amazon or Google and browse around at different brands, sizes, and materials to find what works best for you. I posted a link to the one I use below. But as always, your mileage may vary. Edit. For those looking for brand, weight, and material suggestions, this is the one I purchased. I am not an expert, but mine has worked well for me for the last 2 years. Recommended weight is generally 10% your body weight, plus maybe 1-2 pounds. I have not tried other materials or brands, and cannot say which will be most comfortable for you. I bought a cotton cover for it for regular washing. This saves my appliances from heavy duty loads. Personally. Sex. Antibiotics. Thanks Sir Alexander Fleming. Mr. Selman Abraham Waxman. Hello Pierre. The numerous men of bacterial culture. And of course Sir Louis Pasteur. The Instant Pot, at least for me. I use that thing all the time. Totally worth every cent, and I turned my family onto the Instant Pot as well. Sonic redesign. Flex tape. Flex seal. Flex glue. Etc. B-Day. Having your own place to live without roommates. So far. The Mandalorian. The Nintendo Switch. I hadn't bought a Nintendo system since the GameCube. I wasn't thrilled about the Wii or the Wii U, so I was hesitant to buy into Nintendo's new system when it was announced. I bought it and was 100% back as a Nintendo fanboy. That system is fantastic. The fact that it is both portable and a home console is amazing to me. And yes, it is underpowered compared to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But it makes up for it in its versatility. Also, I can turn it off instantly and come back to exactly where I left off. Brilliant. My wife's deviled eggs. She talked these things up for months when we first started dating. Her mom talked about them. Her dad. Her sister. Everyone in her family loves them. Then I ate one. It was life-changing. The Breaking Bad series finale. My very first trip to Manhattan. My sister and I booked a 10-day stay at the Roosevelt in Midtown. We landed at LaGuardia from Dallas and the airport employees were super friendly when they saw me in my UT Dallas hoodie. I even got a hug. Like, what? So we go out of the terminal and the car service to Manhattan calls us to let us know they overbooked and ran out of sedans and SUVs, so they sent a stretch limo to pick us up. The trip was full of lucky turns. We got very last minute front and center seats to the Radio City Rockettes for $60 each. The city just lived up to every expectation I had since childhood. I love it. Visiting Machu Picchu and other Inca ruins. It was amazing. They don't tell you that there are just random llamas grazing on these ancient stone terraces. Or that there are huge blue butterflies everywhere. Or about the tourist city that has sprung up around the ruins of Machu Picchu. Or about how crazy the city of Lima is. Breath of the Wild. Squatty potty. Let that hate flow right out of you. The first Deadpool movie. I was worried as fuck that it wasn't gonna be violent, crude, or emotional. But it checked off every box. The point where I knew it was gonna be great was when Deadpool dropped into the SUV. And the one goon got thrown out and fucking splatted on the freeway sign. Google Glass. Haha, just fucking kidding. Seeing the Milky Way for the first time blew my mind. What many don't see because of city lights. Edit. Thank you for the medal. Christian McCaffrey. Boobs. Logan. The first book in the Hunger Games trilogy. Smart devices. But especially smartphones. I remember watching the keynote in 2007 and thinking this was just an Apple gimmick. 12 years later and there's no way I'd willingly go back to not having my smartphone. I wouldn't be typing this right now. Hawaii. It has been hyped as a beautiful worry-free paradise. But when I went there, it was a beautiful worry-free paradise. 10/10 would go again. Texas barbecue. Being married. It's been a year and a half and it keeps getting better and better. I kept telling my girlfriend how good anal sex feels. And I finally got her to try it with me. I think she was liking it more than I did. She came. I came and I can't wait for my butthole to stop hurting so we can try it again. Avengers Endgame. Divorcing a terrible person. The sense of relief, freedom and having my old self back again cannot be expressed in words. I would marry her all over again and divorce her just to experience that feeling again. Edit. Thanks for my first ever gold. Not sure what it does. But cool. And now platinum? Thanks. The Witcher 3. Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild. I was excited for it from the first trailer and it's been my favorite game ever since it came out. The original Star Wars films. Didn't get around to seeing them till college. And just made my roommate watch them for the first time. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Joker. SpaceX rockets landing themselves. Halo 3. The Gorge. Everyone here in WA hypes it up as one of the best concert venues in the world. It really is breathtaking the first time you step over the hill and see the sprawling landscape. Next on the list is Red Rocks. I hear that that's the only other venue that really compares in terms of natural beauty. RDR2 and Lotta Trilogy. Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. And Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction. Both Hubble and Kepler space telescopes. Deep field images showing thousands of galaxies in just a tiny patch of sky and the discovery of thousands of exoplanets that are so different from planets in our own solar system. What better could astronomers hope to find up there? Undertale. From the fundraising to its eventual release, a lot of put behind this game and it came through with an explosion of success. A wave that threw itself over the gaming community whether we liked it or not. In more ways than one. Cats. Seeing Metallica live certainly lived up to the hype. All those years really added up to a memorable experience. And they played like every damned hit song. It was like watching a highlight reel. They played 4 hours and took breaks. 7 out of 7. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young at Red Rocks. Life. Or Marizo. A solid relationship. I love my partner so much. And I love how we know each other in and out and are just generally on the same wavelength. I'm not a really traditional person and I always felt out of place for not wanted the norm out of life. For example, we bought a nice, spacious home big enough to have kids in the future. And I hated it. Hated taking care of the house. Didn't really want kids. Just generally felt trapped. When I told my partner, he was like, yeah, this is too much house for us. Let's sell it. When I told him I was having second thoughts about kids, I found out he was too. And even little things. Like if we were planning to go out but I decide I don't want to. I'm a huge introvert. He's like, yeah, let's stay in AMD, have a movie night. Being with him, he made me realize I don't have to feel guilty or wrong for forging my own path. Now we've sold the house and live in a low maintenance apartment. We are child free and plan to buy an RV and travel the US. Hamilton. Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse. Didn't think I could possibly like a superhero movie to the point of watching it 6 times. Forcing all of my friends to watch it and listening to the soundtrack on repeat. My animation major friend kept raving about it and I promised I'd eventually watch it. When I did, I was in shock at how good it was. Gloomhaven. Dogs. Every day I walk through the door home from anywhere and my dog is so pumped and happy to see me that I become happy. If I have a bad day, he makes me happier. If I have a good day, he makes me happier. They are so pure. We don't deserve them. Edit. And now I'm a roundabout way he got me my first silver. Thank you, stranger. Here he is, BTW. Retta. Skyrim. It still lives up to the hype 8 years later. First time I loaded up Google Earth on a tablet, I knew I had officially reached living in the future status. Patrick LeVaughn Mahomes II. Switching from console to PC. Scuba diving the Great Barrier Reef. One of those things where no picture or video can possibly do it justice. Nowhere else in the world can you see such incredibly beautiful wildlife. Totally up close and personal. Truly one of Earth's great wonders. Fucking Rain-X. Shit sounds like it should be sold through an infomercial, but it really does improve visibility when it's rainy by adding a Teflon-like coating to your windshield. You don't need to use your wipers as often cause it just slides right off your windshield as you're going down the road. The Battle of Helm's Deep. Those little Philadelphia cheesecake bars that are no longer made. Bring them back. Camping in Australia. I come from Europe. And a lot of folks go to Australia after high school. My friends who were there loved it. But all I always took from the conversations with them was that they worked crappy, underpaid jobs. To live in a van in a country where everything tries to kill you. After I finished university, my GF made me go with her. And I was so not hyped. Turns out I have never seen a more beautiful country with such a nice infrastructure for camping. I would say it was the best 6 weeks of my life so far. In 1980, The Empire Strikes Back. Jurassic Park helicopter tour of Kauai Island in Hawaii. It's about $400 for 1.5 hours. But it's one of the most life-changing things I ever did with my dad. Out of one window, you saw whales break the surface. And then you zoom around the island in and out of cliffs and rocks and mountains and dozens of mini waterfalls. And then you land a few yards from where the Jurassic Park helicopter pad used to be. And you walk up to the 500-foot falls. It's really just an amazing trip to see. Getting glasses with the right prescription and realizing you're meant to see leaves on trees from 10 feet away. Growing up in the big city, or what we'd consider to be one out here, I had never had an interest in nature or outside. One day after school, my parents arrived as usual. What was unusual was the fully packed car. Understanding hits me like a truck. Camping. Oh no, not a plushy electric camping experience, my father confirms. We're going to Botswana. The true great outdoors. I sulk, of course. All the way there. We get to, well, wherever we were. Set up camp and I jump straight in my tent to continue my pity party. Some hours later and my parents still haven't lit a fire. I can hear their voices faintly. Upset. but more because of their disregard for my tantrum. I emerge from the tent and all thoughts of my remarks disappear. The sight that greets me is, for lack of a better word, awesome. Stars. More than I thought possible. They covered every inch of my vision from one horizon to the other behind me. Between the blanket of stars, nebulae of every color are visible. My father laughs at my expression as I desperately crane my neck to see it all. Lem tell you folks. Perfectly dark night sky 100% lives up to the hype. Therapy. Yeah, that's sappy as hell. But it made me feel a lot better. Still working on myself. But my psychologist is a saint and she does all she can to help. Into the Spider-Verse. As a 37-year-old comic fan, it made me happy to live in this version of reality. Thanks for watching, mate. Make sure to smash that star button for more high quality content.